Hi guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel, The Financial Couple. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys some tips on what to do while you're hosting an open house. My first tip would be after you find your open house in the area you're going to be doing it in, go ahead and drive around the area just the night before or early in the morning before and see where it's best to put your signs. This way you can get the most people into that home, because if you put your signs where they're not going to get enough exposure, you're not going to have any people coming in and you're going to be wasting your time just sitting there waiting for someone to come because they don't know that you're doing an open house at this time. This is definitely the most important thing, because if you know how to place your signs, you're going to get a lot of people coming in and a lot of potential buyers and sellers. Tip number 2 would be definitely to do your research on the property beforehand. I typically schedule my open houses 3 to 4 days before. That way I can just get to learn the property, look at all the documents, and just make sure that if I have a question come in, I'm going to know the answer. And if I don't know the answer, I know who to go to for the answer. This makes open houses go a lot smoother and better. Tip number 3 is to ask your visitors questions, but don't be too overbearing. I notice a lot of people don't want to talk until they fully have looked through the home, and if they like it, they'll come and ask you more questions. Whereas if you're kind of overbearing, like, oh, you want to buy a house? When do you want to buy it? Like, how much are you willing to spend? That kind of tends to scare people away. So I would try to be more casual and just ask them how their day is going, what are they doing today, and then you'll start getting into the more serious conversation. But don't just attack them with the first conversation being like, oh, when are you going to buy a house? Are you buying a house? Which I think a lot of people know, but it is just another tip to keep in mind. Tip number 4 is something that is for new real estate agents, and this will happen a lot. You're gonna get a lot of people who are either nosy neighbors or just people who are just driving by and want to see the home. They might not be looking for a home, but they're still gonna come in and ask you a ton of questions, and they may come off as a little bit rude because you'll try to introduce yourself, start talking to them, and then they'll just straight up tell you, I don't want a realtor, I'm not looking to buy or sell. And you just have to stay polite. I always keep talking to them and just try to make sure that they're comfortable and they're not angry, they don't leave angry, that way that they still feel comfortable, and if they ever do want to sell or buy in the future, they'll come back to me. I had a really hard time at this at first because I was just trying to talk to people and then they would shoo me away like, we don't want a realtor, and I'm like, I'm not trying to be your realtor right now, I'm just trying to be your friend, and potentially maybe later I'll be your realtor. Tip number 5, this is the most important for me, and it took me about 3 or 4 open houses to learn this. And the tip is to keep your phone away at all times when you're at an open house, unless you're looking for information for someone who's asking. You tend to look rude when you're just on the phone. And I did this at first because I thought it made me look busy, or if I was like, I don't know why I was doing it, but I just thought it made me look better. And it actually does the opposite. I noticed that if I stay off the phone, off the technology, and I'm just talking to people, they really engage more and they'll walk out with a better taste in their mouth and won't be so uncomfortable. Number 6 is not really a tip, but your visitors will definitely remember you for this, is bringing drinks and snacks to your open house. Sometimes on Sundays, open houses can be really busy, start getting 15 to 20 people. If you just bring waters and maybe just cookies from the store, they will really remember that you put in the effort to go and buy this stuff. And if no one ends up taking it, you can always take it back to the office and your office will love you as well. Tip number 7 is getting to your open house at least 30 minutes beforehand so you can start setting up your signs, getting everything open, making sure the front door is opening fine, because I have had some issues sometimes opening the front door and I've had people waiting for me, and that does not look professional. So you definitely want to make sure you're getting there in enough time to make sure you can open the front door correctly, everything inside is good, you can turn on all the lights, set up your little area, put your drinks, food out, and you'll just look a lot more professional doing that. Also, if you haven't previewed the neighborhood beforehand, you want to go even more early, that way you can drive around. I have had people ask me like, where's the park? And if you don't know that does not look good for you. Tip number 8 is to not be shy, and I know this is really hard because I am a pretty shy person myself, but you really have to go out there and engage with your visitors, talk to them, get to know them, get to know the area. If they're neighbors, you can ask them about things about the neighborhood. That way if anyone asks you, you have like someone who personally lives there telling you. Tip number 9 is really important as well, and it's if you don't know something, do not say something that you don't know is 100% correct. Just tell your visitor or your customer, give me 5 minutes, I'm going to email someone else and I'm going to get the correct answer for you. And I know it feels better if you just can say it right away and you think you know the answer, but in the end, it's always better to just double check and make sure you're saying the correct information so it doesn't come back to you. These are just a couple of tips for open houses, guys, and I hope they did help you. If you have any questions or concerns, leave them in the comments below. Thanks, see you in our next video.